Think about the last time you spent $40 without even blinking. Maybe a casual dinner, a new shirt, or impulse buys on Amazon. Fun? Sure. But what if I told you that skipping just one dinner out a week, just $40, could snowball into $6,000 a month? Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what smart investing can do. This isn't some get-rich-quick scheme. It's a real proven strategy, and by the end of this video, you'll see exactly how it works. In this video, I'll walk you and Alpha through the exact strategy to make it happen, how the snowball effect works, and how to pick the right dividend assets. By the end, through our projection, you'll see how a simple saving habit can grow into legendary wealth. So crazy, right? Let's get into it. First off, let's break down dividends. Think of them as the stock market's way of saying, "Hey, thanks for sticking around." You and Alpha throw $1,000 each into a stock that pays a 5% dividend. That's $50 a year, just for owning it. No selling, no day trading. That cash shows up in your account every quarter like clockwork. Now sure, $50 isn't life-changing, and you didn't do a thing to earn it. But here's the real magic. Some companies actually raise their dividends every year. That $50 turns into $55, then $60, and just keeps going up, all while you sit back and chill. It's kind of like owning a rental property, except no busted pipes or midnight phone calls. You're getting paid just for being on the squad. So here's the million-dollar question. Do you take the dividend cash now, or reinvest it and let it snowball? Let's throw non-drip versus drip into the ring and see who wins. Say Alpha puts $1,000 into a stock with a 5% dividend. The stock's priced at $100, so that gives you 10 shares, each paying $5 in dividends. With non-drip, you take the $50 and treat yourself, maybe some tacos or a new backpack. Fun? Absolutely. But your investment doesn't grow, and neither does your dividend. It stays at $50 year after year. Now with drip, the dividend reinvestment plan, you take that $50 and use it to buy more shares. If the stock price stays the same, that nets you half a share. So next year, you've got 10.5 shares. That same 5% dividend, or $5 per share, now pays you $52.50. Reinvest again, and the snowball starts rolling. By year 3, you're raking in $55.13 in dividends with 11.025 shares, compared to just 10 shares and a flat $50 with non-drip. Now imagine that over 10, 20, 30 years, drip turns a little snowball into a full-blown dividend avalanche. Sure, non-drip gives you some quick cash, but drip? That's how you build real, unstoppable wealth. Tacos are great, but a portfolio that pays you for life? That's next level. So, let's keep going. But where should you actually put your money to get that compounding effect? That's why knowing how to pick the right dividend-paying investments is so important, because not all assets are created equal. And if you and Alpha want that dream passive income stream, you're going to need to be picky. First off, whether you're looking at individual stocks, REITs, or ETFs, the rules of the dividend game are the same. So let's start with dividend yield. It tells you how much income you're getting in relation to the stock price. A 5% yield means for every $1,000 invested, you're pocketing $50 per year. Simple, right? But here's the kicker. High yield isn't everything. In fact, if a yield looks too good to be true, like 10% or more, it might be a trap. The real key is sustainability. You and Alpha want companies that consistently pay dividends and have the cash flow to keep doing it, even when times get tough. That's where company stability comes in. Imagine a consumer staple company. Think toilet paper, toothpaste, groceries. People buy that stuff no matter what. These businesses don't skyrocket, but they do bring in reliable income, which means they're more likely to keep sending you dividend checks, recession or not. Stability equals peace of mind. But the stability of a company is not enough. You don't want to put all your eggs in one dividend basket. That's why diversification is crucial. If your whole portfolio is in real estate and the housing market tanks, boom, dividends drop. But if you also own some healthcare, some energy, and a bit of tech, then even when one sector dips, the others keep that income flowing. Just think about financial shock absorption. And finally, growth potential. Yes, dividends are the name of the game. But what if the stock price itself also goes up over time? That's where the real wealth comes from. You could be stacking income and watching your portfolio grow like a beast. Alright, now let's show you what we've got lined up. This one's the real deal. It checks all the boxes. Stick around because this ETF might just be the missing piece you've been looking for. SCHD. This one's a standout, considering it checks every single box we talked about earlier. Solid dividend yield? Check. Rock steady performance? Check. Diversification? Locked in. Room to grow? Definitely. So here's the deal. This ETF follows a really smart strategy. It focuses on high dividend yielding US companies, but not just any random picks. It filters for quality, consistency, and companies that know how to keep those dividend payments rolling in like clockwork. And the lineup? It's stacked. We're talking names like Coca-Cola, Verizon, Altria, even Lockheed Martin. These are the kind of companies with a long track record of showing up and paying out year after year. It's also spread out across major areas like consumer staples, energy, healthcare, and more, covering around 100 companies to keep things balanced. So if one part of the economy stumbles, others step up. That's the safety net you want. Now about the fees. SCHD is a total efficiency beast. The expense ratio is just 0.06%. That's only 6 cents a year for every $1,000 you invest. You barely notice it. But over time, that low cost adds up in a big way. And here's where it really gets spicy. The current dividend yield? Sitting pretty around 4%. But it doesn't stop there. Dividend growth has been climbing at over 13% per year, which means your payouts don't just stay steady, they actually grow. Plus, the share price itself has been growing at an average of 8% annually. So even if you weren't reinvesting dividends, your base investment is still picking up speed. Alright, now let's see what this $40 a week habit can actually do. I know, it sounds like lunch money, but we are here to prove that it can be so much more when stretched over the years. After just 5 years of steady $40 a week investing, you and Alpha are sitting on a portfolio worth around $13,000, and your passive income? About $450 a year. That might not sound life-changing yet, but hold up, the engine's just starting to rev. Fast forward to year 20, you and Alpha stayed consistent, you didn't panic during the dips, you just kept buying. And now, your portfolio has exploded to $186,000. Not only that, but it's now throwing off over $11,000 in annual income, $900 a month just for existing. That's rent, that's groceries, that's freedom. And then there's the real showstopper. Year 30. By now, this $40 a week snowball has turned into a financial avalanche. Your portfolio is now a whopping $900,000. Your passive income? Try $72,000 a year or $6,000 a month. Let that sink in. You and Alpha could be living the dream on dividends alone. And here's the wild part. You only put in $62,400 over those 30 years. That's it. The rest? That came from the magic of compounding, about $420,000 all from reinvested dividends, plus another $62,000 from the stock growing in value. So there you have it. What started as a simple $40 a week habit grew into a full-blown dividend avalanche. Whether you're chasing extra income, early retirement, or just peace of mind, this strategy shows how small steps can lead to massive wealth. Now, it's your turn to start building. We want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let us know which ETFs you're holding in your portfolio. Got a favorite? Let's talk about it. We'll dive into your suggestions. In the meantime, check out these other great investment ideas. We've got something for everyone.